Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer main tourney race between these two Group A amazing racers, RadicalSniper99, aka Jesse, and Titos, aka Artie. I am Iwala Koala, joined with my friend Captain1977. Captain, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yo, tis the season for random. That's all I gotta say. Yep, we got Ambrosia today.
Ambrosia, one of these simpler, more fun, I'd say, uh, modes. Swords assured. We're doing standard start. Uncle's gonna tell us where the boots are, and he's probably gonna troll us. And yeah, and every boss is guaranteed to drop something, whether that be a good thing or a bad thing. It's not gonna be a map, compass, or key, but it'll be something.
Just nice and simple, easy and quick. Usually, till it's not.
Yeah, until we're looking for that one go mode item.
Here we
Anyway,
go.
boots are
Oh,
in Eastern. Excellent.
play. That's nice.
And an easy powder in Link's house because, you know, Link likes the powder. What? Don't read
What?
into things. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But yeah, we will start the standard opening in the rain because, you know, the game starts off very somber.
It's a cell that got kidnapped, taken to a cell. Yeah, there's a
Quick map check from Titos. We saw Pendant, Eastern, and Hera. And I think Good Crystal Desert or Normal Crystal, something like that.
And Uncle giving us bombs for the back of escape. Thank you, Uncle.
Very, very nice, Uncle. So we will be able to get every item in Escape. The question will be, with those boots in Eastern, are they going to be in the front or are they going to be locked behind the bow, which will be hilarious. Especially,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
even if the boots are on Armos Knights, you might not get those because at Eastern being a pendant, you might not have to go after that anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see where these runners want to go. If they just want to try to dip Eastern right away, or just do normal checks to start. So.
And half magic coming out early. That'll be really nice and helpful throughout the seed.
Those nice safety items to start out with the powder and the half magic.
Yeah, for these two runners, probably shouldn't be too big an issue. We should note Jesse, Radical Sniper on the left there. He is sitting at 2 and 2 currently in Group A. Tito's currently at 1 and 4. Probably not going to be able to move on, but Jesse does have a fair shot at getting a playoff match with Krithel, assuming he loses his last and Jesse wins this match and his next one. Or rather, at least this match. They could end up in a 3-3 tiebreaker scenario. Unless, of course, Titos has something to say about that, then, you know, he could play spoiler and ruin Jesse's chances.
We'll see. Okay, Jesse's going for a pot. 4 slash spins here. Slash spin? What's a slash spin? I don't know. Alright,
It's you know, it's a fancy slash that's you know, swag, I guess. Anyway.
I don't know. Anywho, we get a green bottle from the Zelda cell.
I don't want to know what's in that bottle because Zelda could have done some things to it. Like when you're in prison, like what do you do with a bottle?
No comment.
Okay. Well, in any case, Zelda's gonna trust our little Hollow Knight dude and walk out of here.
really see the movements here. Jesse's, I know, practices a lot of the NMG strats here and does escape fairly well and knows how to move through the escape here fairly quickly, as fast as you can without the moves. So
Yeah, good solid lines. Interesting that since we had bombs from Uncle, not too big a deal. I personally would rather like to farm like a pack of like the rats or the snakes first myself just to get some extra bombs. But you don't want to take too much time out of it, you know. Especially if we didn't have those bombs, then it'd be a lot more valuable to do.
absolutely. E-Rat going to Alcatraz, thank you for that.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Key Rat's not gonna escape today, unfortunately. And in the back of Hyrule Castle.
Money, there's the map, and a couple more bombs.
You know, that's a good starter pack. Money, bombs, you know, and then don't have to worry about too much overworld things, assuming you use bombs wisely. Thanks, Peppy.
So yeah, the rats are in the bomb pack here, but Jesse's not going to go ahead and farm them anymore. 6 should be fairly enough. We'll probably find more along the way.
Yeah, 2 3-packs is usually enough for the early game with the sword. And even more money in Sank. Well, they just robbed the church, and yeah. Hope that doesn't bite them later, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Immediately going to see some divergence here with Titos saving quitting in Sank. Probably going to do South Shore routing, I would imagine, and Jesse going to do the Lost Woods CAC route.
Tito wants those boots.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, he's like, all right, we'll try and snipe them as fast as we can. Hope they're not on Armos. Just a heart piece sitting on the lake today.
Oh, that's a shovel in the mushroom spot.
And a good boomerang. Heck yeah.
Mesmering.
Tito's not even going to talk to Saha. Probably don't need to. We can always do a map check later for that. Though nothing in his closet today, but some health. We'll get our first look at Kakariko here on Jesse Radical Sniper's side.
Whack. That's Quake Medallion in Hyrulean.
And first chest in Eastern. Is it the boots? No. The big key. We push onward.
Does he drop it into the well here? We haven't really found anything useful, just the Quake Medallion, but that might not even be useful. Oh, that's the mirror.
Mirror.
It's an empty bottle here. And we got
Blue mail next item.
Okay.
In Eastern.
So there is one more item available in Eastern, as we know the third item will be on Armos itself. So, and off the bottom vendor there, we missing Jesse pulling a hook shot.
Hookshot, nice to have early. not doing a whole lot for us right now, though, without like a glove to sequence break Death Mountain. There's a blue cane that's good invuln, especially with that half magic.
It's a map. Big chest in Eastern has the compass.
Is the compass. So Titos is gonna take his sword and walk through the dark room Eastern, try to get that vanilla big key chest. Will that be our boots? Oh, and there's a sword on library. Hilariously, that these boots could be out of logic if we get them right now. Guess he's gonna blind do this race game. He's like, I don't have enough. I'm just gonna hope for the best here.
We get just 20 bucks. But we got a shovel, so let's go turn that in.
Alright, moment of truth for Titos. Is it the boots? Once he can get that pot from the anti-fairies.
There we go.
It is the boots! Not in logic, but you know what? Titos doesn't care. Because we have boots. We're going fast.
Shovel's gonna be. Oh, hey, vanilla flute.
What a nice vanilla item. Gives us nice early Death Mountain access.
Titos right away checking bonk rocks. More money.
Like our third 300 we found so far. There's a lot of money in this seed.
We're gonna get a lumberjack check here as well on Tito's side after this tree bowl full magic.
Titos will be happy with those boots, and we'll see Library and get his instant Master Sword reward.
We got a piece of heart inside the tree. See where Jesse decides to go next. South Shore, Eastern Palace. It is South Shore.
Tito's gonna retrace all the steps that we saw Jesse do. But just a little bit faster with those speedy shoes. And Jesse confirming his Light World pendants and Red Crystal Desert. And we'll take our first look at Mini Moldorm Cave. Oh, and a glove comes out.
Piece to our Dark World puzzle. Astrod Cave has 20 bucks.
I'm digging this MSU pack from Jesse. I can't put my finger on it. Sounds like Super Nintendo things.
And now Jesse's going to Eastern to get those boots.
Tito's cleaning up the rest of Kakariko. Gets his hook shot with plenty of money to spare. Jesse's going to tell us green pendant is Skull Woods today.
Tito's about to be rewarded with the Master Sword here. Going to get those boots early. You can just single dip this, so Jess is going to have to run back here to get that.
I'm curious what's going to show up first, like a lamp that could put those boots and that sword in logic, or normal Dark World access and Hammer Moon Pearl. Basically, are we going to go to Aga, or are we going to skip Aga? Jesse gets his vanilla flavored flute today. He's going to go immediately back to Kakariko and activate that. Don't blame him. Very useful for early game routing, especially those like out of the way checks, like Agina Cave or up the mountain. Meanwhile, Jesse scouting his way through Eastern, looking for those boots, wondering where are they. He saw that blue mail and he's thinking, oh, I really hope they're not on Armos now, because he's got down to one item left. We know they're out of logic right now.
Tito freezes duck. Yeah, let's see where they want to go next. They are going to go check out Ice Art Cave. Good check to do while you get the flute. Pretty quick to get over to flute spot 8. You can see a water walk here as well, Titos. Or, no.
Nope. Just decided to leave. I like the water walk play there personally, but usually just for like hobo if I'm lacking money. No, he's going to clean up the rest of South Shore first, which makes sense. Just going to use that burn to good effect. Gets rewarded. Now both are runners carrying a, I guess you wouldn't say illegal, but not logically available boots right now. But that doesn't stop us.
It's totally illegal. Can't use them.
Jesse's gonna take his boots and go pick up his upgraded sword. Hopefully, maybe not.
You stop using those boots. You stop it. Sorry. See where? Okay, just go check Lumberjack because that's what you do after you get the boots.
He just gets his first glove here. And now I feel like all that's left is going up the mountain. Or Agina.
Oh, you're Agina. Or you said logic with that glove. Yeah. Just you remember, hey, there's a sword at the library I can get now.
How do you read a sword? Welcome to Hyrule, where the librarians are packing heat.
Jesse headed to Agita's cave, check out the desert ledge, which is just a heart piece.
And old man tipping our runner Link for navigating him through the Dark World with 20 bucks. Nothing in Nagina's cave, nothing on Spec Rock.
20 rupees all around here. We got the Titos decided to go to Hera first. Get a quick Dark World map check. We have a red crystal at these town.
And that is all our knowledge. When you have a stacked light world like that, you don't have to spend too much time looking at the Dark World map.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do Hera here. It's a pretty quick dungeon, but you know that the last item is on the boss. So there's our first item in Hera. It's the heart container. That means you can go straight to Moldorf with the Hera pot.
This is the reason why Ambrosia is nice. When you find that first item, just zoom and skip everything else. Jesse not too far behind, gonna check Spec Cave, and we'll see if he goes to Hera or East Death Mountain. Titos gets that spin speed Hera pot in. Ah, okay. Now I know which MSU Jesse's using. It seems to be a popular one I've noticed in a few of these races. And 3 spins by Titos knocks out that worm. Holding today, 3 bombs. Jesse also with the spin speed setup gets the Hera pot. Titos is going to dash over to East Death Mountain, which should be our logical progression because I think we are out of options.
Especially that moon pearl.
Nice quick work of Moldorm for Jesse. There's our Moon Pearl.
Okay, so we need a glove or a hammer or a lamp.
Lamp would put everything in logic that our runners have, including the sword, that boots. Not in the rest of Paradox Cave, which is interesting. Which gives us, I believe, Spiral and Zora as our last 2 logical things. See a bow on Floating Island. That is locked behind quite a few things, including mitts. But they do have that lamp to get there. Or not lamp, excuse me, the mirror.
If the game wants to be nice, just give us the bits here in Spiral Cave. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh.
Oh, Tito's getting the save and quit.
It's
Ooh.
an interesting call. You could have done so much more up on the mountain there.
And grab that bow. Oh no, is he? Oh, he's floating away.
Okay.
Yeah, that bow could have been done. Could have done Hookshot Caves, Super Bunny, and check out TR Medallion. Tito's gonna say, nah, heck all that. We're gonna do immediate Village of Outcasts. Or so it also could have been like a heat of the moment thing, like, oh, Mitts, I have Dark Gold access. I've been there before, I've done that. And then you realize, oh, I could have done some other things. Jesse looks like he's gonna stay on the mountain. Yeah, he's thinking, I really want that bow, so I'm gonna go grab it.
Absolutely. Let's see if this is gonna pay off for Titos or not. But we're headed into Thieves Town.
Just some money and Super Bunny.
Second item, these out 5 rupees. And compass. Okay, so Titos is saying, I'm gonna wait for the hammer to do Thieves Town.
Now that is interesting, because you know that Blind has an item. I just missed what Todorock was. But you know Blind has an item, so I would think you would... I would prefer to gamble, like skipping the big chest. But, interesting. Fire Rod comes out in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, we are gonna need that fire rod. So, oh, Flipper's in the brewery. So that's gonna open up Swamp.
And Fire Rod opens up Green Pendant Skull Woods. And those flippers and mitts would also give us Ice Palace access. So we still need a hammer to finish that.
He's giving us a spit check here. And Jesse Flute in the 5 was gonna go do pie, but remember, oh, I don't have a hammer. Or it's a rod flute spot. Either one.
Possibly. No, I like this play. He's going to check the Mire entrance and probably do Desert here at this point. Mire is Quake. I didn't... Chat saying Ether was required for Turtle Rock. I will trust them on that.
Got that early powder. Let's see if that's gonna turn into something here.
Could this be Hammer? Always the cute Hammer spot. Just arrows today.
In the checkerboard cave for Jesse, just 20 bucks today. We're going to desert.
So even though Jesse got that Fire Rod bow, we're still seeing a lot of variant and checks here, which is really interesting from both our runners. Now they're going to converge a little bit in, well, maybe not Titos. Oh, he just wanted to check the desert ledge. I get you, I get you, I get you. Oh, probably high five in desert. Though Titos did not pick up that Fire Rod, so this is not beatable for him.
Squawky on the torch. Looking for one item here at the front, as we know the second item will be on Landwell.
Interestingly enough, even though we have this Fire Rod, this desert is still lamp locked because our boots were lamp locked.
There's our one item. Gotta get the picky. We can take out the worms here in the desert. And where is Titos going? Okay, Titos probably gonna grab the purple chest here and do the South Dark World checks.
I was gonna say, I really hope he doesn't dip Skullwoods here. It's kind of unfortunate that the fire rod was in the place that he skipped, because now it just makes this routing just a little more awkward. So it'll be very interesting to see when Titos goes back up the mountain. And one, two, just one missed shot on that third landmo.
Oh, there's the ice rod in K45.
We will need that at some point. A book on landmo is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
That rings straight up with the hammer and magic batter, like the King's Tomb or something like that. Oh, no! Yes. Okay.
Well, that opens up 2 checks for Jesse. He's never going to need that book to go back in the desert. It's one of those fetch quest items, basically, at this point now. Jesse's going to say, I'm going to do Skullwoods now, or VOO. Probably one of those two. I like this play, though.
Yeah. This is probably going to be the swamp play for Titos here coming up.
Yeah, Skullwoods, even though it's a pendant, it's one of those plays where it's like, okay, I have the fire rod, I can... It's even green pendant, so it's worth an extra check afterwards. And it's pretty quick enough that you can just run and go grab it. I don't mind it as like an extra overworld check, basically.
Yeah, you know Moth has an item, so it could be something useful.
Titos giving us our first look at Hype Cave. With a cape in it, which is not nothing, but useful. And there's Tempered Sword.
Okay,
so well, very useful Hype Cave.
Sword is nice.
That was a red cave, was it? We got the fire shield, we got the, well, not a fire cape, but a red colored cape, and then a red sword. So yeah, red cave.
I think there was even a red 20 in there just for
spice.
Yeah.
Titos, remember, he does not have the hammer. He's going to go around by swimming.
Be a hobo check? Yeah.
Just dropping into Mothula. Ooh, oh, caught up in the corner of those spikes there. Still a good fight, still a good fight. Red Boomerang on Mothula. Not exactly as useful.
Cade on the pyramid, though.
Finding a lot of good things between our two runners here. We are very quickly approaching go mode between the two of them.
Yeah, everything just seems to be out in the open. Not a lot of dungeon items that we need. So yeah, Tito's gonna go ahead and do the North Dark World checks here.
Jesse's still looking for that other Skullwoods item.
And how about a pet check?
Nope, not today, Ped. But I guess the big thing for this seed is going to end up being where that hammer decides to show its head, so to speak.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's a Skullwoods, not a whole lot here. That green pendant could be valuable, though. Tito's going to show us what the Fish of the Dark has. There's our hammer! And Jesse's like, dang, where is a cape?
Which we know is a Night Cave. So, Hype Cave actually hyped today.
Very much.
And Tito's forgetting to throw the rock into the circle here. Gonna mirror back here.
So I believe then, logically, we need a lamp for something, probably. But also just Ether Medallion for Turtle Rock, and then we should collectively be in a go mode. Of course, our runners are still missing a few of those other items. But we know where they are. They just gotta, you know, do it.
Tito's giving us a Zora area check here. See what's on the ledge. It is arrows.
Meanwhile, Jesse gonna go back to the Village of Outcasts and probably look into Thieves' Town. Titos did not finish Thieves' Town when he went in there, so we know there's one item on blind and one item in the back somewhere. Which could be Hammerlocked.
Tito's finally going back up the mountain here. Gonna get that fire rod. Hookshot cave. Not much else.
And he knows there's a bow up there. He did see that. That might lead him to do like a pod play. Possibly swamp. There's a lot of options he can do. You know, Jesse getting his flippers out of the brewery.
Jesse is gonna go into Thieves' Town here. Be interested to see since he knows where the hammer is at, will he want to just do the front four here?
I don't think you skip. Because for all he knows, that cape could be somewhere very obscure. Tito's confirming Ether for Turtle Rock as well. He'll get his fire rod here, and the bow.
And yep, he's gonna go ahead and bail on it for now until he finds that cape.
It's a safe play, I suppose. Tito's picking up that bow. Where's he gonna head next? He's gonna do Eastern Pod? No. Miss Flute.
So this could be like a Skullwoods play here for Titos. If you just go check Bumper Cave here, he might skip it though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, he's just going it in Skullwoods.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Because how often does Bumper Cave have something, to be honest?
Or, well...
Oh, maybe?
Okay,
Interestingly, he could have just picked up the rock that was below him and gone this way, but you know what? A little spice. Sees that hammer and he's like, oh, heck yes. Sign me up. Which should put Titos in just an ether from go mode, I believe. Logically a lamp, but you know what? At this point, that lamp could be anywhere and our runners probably won't care where it is.
Yeah. This is probably going to be... So, Titos can now go finish Pod, Swamp, Ice, a bunch of stuff.
Mire.
Yeah, Jesse still has not been to the pyramid yet either. And Jesse's didn't go to Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Oh, he checked the Smith here, so he's gonna go do the South checks. Since he did the bat, he had to get back through the portal.
Yeah, he's being thorough, which is fine. You don't want to miss out on these peppered checks. He'll probably kick himself later when he realizes his answer is just in Hype Cave and the pyramid, but this is still fine. Plus, he has that book, so he might want to route this in with a Bombos tablet. Grabbing that ice rod. He's happy to see that along the way. Map in the attic, that is not the other item that we're looking for in Thieves Town.
There are 2 items left here. One of them on blind, the other one can be in the maiden cell or in the big chest, so we'll see where that's gonna turn up.
Yeah, basically a 50-50 here. And Titos can get it wherever it is, because it's either going to be the small key in blind cell, or the small key is going to just lock itself in the big chest.
Here is that Bombos tablet check. And we didn't even need to do the big chest at these zones.
He's just gonna get in his blind pun. Jesse's gonna be happy with his findings here in Hype Cave.
Red shield. Red cape. Single arrow. Oh, there was no.
It was blue rupee. Well,
I lied.
close enough. But hot Cheeto fire sword.
50 rupees offline, and that is crystal number 2 for Titos.
1 actually. He has not been to
And
desert yet.
crystal 1 for Titos.
Yeah, interestingly that Titos is just one item from Go mode, and he can well, you can't really Go mode the dungeons yet since you're not in Go mode, but very much just run through a lot of the dungeons right now. Like, Titos could go on like a crystal rampage if he wanted to. Jesse meanwhile says like, oh, cape, yes, let me go turn that in immediately.
Here is the hammer pegs for Titos. That is nothing.
Jesse fighting off the murder dactyls, very nice.
This looks like a swamp play from Titos.
Very, very good, dense dungeon. Well, interestingly, if Jesse goes to Thieves Town now, that opens up our Pyramid Ferry. So this basically feels like a pseudo Ice Rod hunt. We need the medallion to get into Turtle Rock, which is this is basically the Ice Rod at this point. There's Butter Sword in Swamp Palace.
Always the sword in swamp. I do not know why. It's the law, I think.
You do left side swamp if you're Titos in this position.
Titos, I don't know, but if you're me, no. Yo, you're one item from Go mode. Chances are being in left side swamp and Argus having a guaranteed item. I think you could safely skip it.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you there. And 2 items in the front, yeah. Item on Argus. I would always skip left side here. Titos agrees. Jesse realizing the hammer was just a suggestion for Thieves Town and not actually necessary to full clear it. And of course, there's map and compass.
Oh no!
How rude, game.
I still don't think you go back in though.
No, not with how much stuff Titos has left to do. I mean, we have 4 math. a large number of dungeons left to do at this point. Where
Yeah. If it's left side swap, then it come on.
nice blind script on Jesse's side. Takes him down, no problem. Just getting all the puffs out of the way, or I guess... Ooh, just missed that other fire rod shot for the quick kill. And he's like, alright, backup strat, just 2 spins and he's down.
It just bombs, okay. But yeah, you don't go back in.
No. We could see Ice, we could see Mire, Pod, all within the realm of possibility here. And Tito saying Ice Palace first. Which at this point is probably the most likely place for a lamp, I would say. Or Pyramid Fairy at this point. You're just gonna be team switch with the Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ambrosia, you want to hit the switch because if you find both items before you find the big key, you're not going to check anything else.
And gets through the wall with our little icebreaker handy dandy tool. There's Mirror Shield, so some people would say Titos wins, but, you know, unfortunately that is not the end of the race.
Are you sure?
Well, I'll double check the rules.
Oh, there
There's
it
our
is!
ether!
Go mode!
Wow. 53 minutes in. Tito saying, heck everything else, just get me out of here, let's kill us a cold stare.
Just watch him melt with that butter sword.
Yeah, butter cuts through ice, don't you know?
So that's Tito's third pendant, so that means he's got about 4 dungeons to go mode here.
Question will be, when does Jesse make the ice play? I would think really soon after this. He's definitely not going back to left side.
I think Jesse's gonna do this into Pyramid Fairy and ice.
Nice quick kill.
Yeah. Titos headed the desert and Meyer first. It's Vanilla Bicky in desert today, so not much time saved here, but Jesse is going back in for left side.
Oh no. Both are runners with gold sword. The best thing Jesse can find here is, I guess, silvers. I don't believe he's checked. Yeah, no, he hasn't been to the pyramid yet because he still doesn't have Samaria. So I guess that's what he's thinking. Like, well, maybe I'm still looking for Samaria. He knows that he needs an ether.
Maybe lamp. Don't know. But yeah, this gives Tito's it's gonna give him a big advantage here.
Mm-hmm. He's going to start his landmo fight. Just misses the one cycle. Big key of swamp on left side, so of course Jesse's going to take another run in the front. And that's crystal number 4 for Titos. Pod, Meyer, and Totorock all left to do. I'll probably do Meyer first here since he's right here with his portal. And just a heart container in that swamp pig, so unfortunately Jesse is thinking, dang, where do I go from here?
See if he does pyramid pyramid fairy and pyramid check, he's gonna get that cane at least.
That's true. It'll point him in that direction at least. And we'll see how good Tito's Dark Mire is at, or navigating Dark Mire, I should say. He's just gonna drop the bomb, get that spin speed, and look at that ledge, and he's like, oh, red cane. And there's Bombos. Something we didn't need, but that would be an interesting place for a medallion. Maybe the bombos will be his hint of Ice Palace.
He's got the flute out. He is fluting away. He is going to Ice Palace. Yep.
All right. Titos still looking for that Meyer big key. Finds the one item that's in the front, the other being on Vitreous, of course. And there's the big key.
Meyer being notoriously one of the more difficult dungeons to do in the dark, but if you can learn it, you should definitely learn how to do it. It's when you get
Dark
to
Meyer's, it's annoying to learn, I will say that, out of personal experience. The hardest part is the first room right here and picking up the rock with the button. That's the hardest part, in my opinion. Interesting setup from Titos here. Hook shotting the skull. Finds it, picks it up, places the block. Jesse gonna get his go mode ether here. Sorry, mirror shield first. The more important item, obviously.
obviously.
There's that ether. 1 hour, 1 minute.
About 5 minutes behind.
Yeah, he's behind by, at this point, basically 2 dungeons, but he's got to finish Ice, and then the rest of Meyer, Pod, TR. Tito's probably going to go to Pod first, and then Turtle Rock afterwards. Yes, he's still checking chests here. He did get both items. He should know. The last is on Cold Stare. Oh, Jesse didn't hit the switch, that's why. Crystal number 5 for Titos. Easy work of Vitreous. Meanwhile, Jesse dropping into Cold Stare. Three slashes of the butter, and he goes down. And we're gonna head to Pod for the first time, which is kind of insane that we're in go mode and we haven't touched Pod yet. Which almost never happens, I swear. It'll be interesting if Lamp or Silvers doesn't show up, because then our runners will have to do Torch Glitch with the Fire Rod, which is doable, but you really don't want to if you can avoid it. Much like Maya, we were basically just looking for this pod big key in here, and then our runners will go straight to the back.
Depends how friendly Pod wants to be today.
So far, not very friendly. Just a bunch of small keys, a useless map. Oh, speaking of lamp, it was in pod the whole time.
There it is.
Now we're in logic finally, you know, after already being in coma. I don't want to know how Titos just jumped on the void, but you know what? I won't ask questions. Link, not privy to the laws of physics, it seems.
No, not usually. Alright, so we're still looking for that big key though, so.
You know, it's gonna be in the dark maze. Because of course it is. Ooh, Jesse having a little trouble with the block on the button. Gets it second try. And there's Silvers, of course, in pod. Which I swear I saw Silvers like in that same spot the other day.
And there is the big key. Bottom chest of dark maze, so. Alright.
Now Titos has everything he needs. Absolutely no reason to check anything else. Other than, of course, where the required keys are. Interesting thing there. I think something with like lag frames and I don't know, walking animation. Link was like not feeling the jumps. Interesting that Jesse decided to do Meyer first. He already had done Desert, and so he could have chosen to do Pod first, but that would have made his like Dark Meyer a little easier. Like, it made sense in Tito's position because he had just finished Desert and he was right there, but for Jesse, I mean, you could have just fluted to anywhere else. It would have been basically the same thing. And it makes your Vidi fight easier if you get the Silvers as well. I don't know, just small little things. First look at Helmasaur here on Tito's side. "17 hits with a hammer, 2 swings of the gold sword, and that lizard is dead."
just one more trip up the mountain to the rock now.
As Titos heads up the mountain, and Jesse's gonna retrace all the same steps Titos is doing, why don't you be sure to give our runners a follow? They are putting on a great race. Great minds. Titos, though, with a pretty commanding lead, I'd say it would probably be... I don't even think GT routing can make up for this time. But who knows? Anything can happen. Also, shoutouts to Adalor for doing our tracking today. Also a fun commentator if you've ever had the pleasure of working with him.
Just to get in his lane, having a big old laugh.
Is that TR big?
Yep. This is a little bit different. We can't just find the big key and go to the back. We need a bunch of small keys.
Yeah.
So Jesse is gonna go north here, gonna find those silver arrows.
Gets this big key, mirrors out of there, and he's beelining for Helmasaur. Do you think either runner feels behind at this point?
I think Jesse might a little bit, maybe because of all the overworld checks that he didn't do, because a lot of the items were just out in the open.
He was also slower getting the boots. Tito's getting those immediately after escape. Which I don't think has made up too much difference, but...
Yeah. Plus, Jesse doing the left side swamp play probably feels a little bit behind in case his opponents get that, which they did, so...
Tito's making the safe play and not skipping the Turok big chest. Just a piece of heart, though. Yes, the 3%. Is that really the odds? I've never done the math. But I have been burned by it before, so... Small key in roller room means we are not going to see laser bridge today.
Down goes Helma for Jesse. Titos has entered the block maze here in Turtle Rock. The Trinix.
A little dusting of some ice, a little dust of some fire, a little butter, and you get yourself a, well, some sort of concoction with Trinex.
There. Down goes Trinix for Titos. We are headed off to GT. It's about the time where we usually see a bunch of numbers come up here in chat. So, why don't we go ahead and say that there are 22 item locations in Kansas, where that Pinky might be correctly guess it right, and you can win something. Half pound of cottage cheese.
Oh. I've never seen an actual prize on the line.
Oh, it's real. It's not real. It could be real.
It could be real.
But it's not. Okay.
My go-to number is always 15.
15. Okay, I'll say. Let's see. 4. All right.
And Tito's entering Ganon's tower 117.30, 30 something approximately. Jesse only behind by probably at this point a couple minutes. Check number 1 on the torch, just the compass.
Heart. 3. Oh, mushroom. 4 key. Number 5. Continue piece. We're going to the right. Six small keys. 720.
Just missed that other torch. Tito's turn back. Oh, he's gonna time out on the torches.
Yeah.
That berry got in the way. All right, round 2. It's fine. One less berry. Surely he can't miss again.
Eight, 9, 10, 11 come up here in compass room.
Nope. Not on right side today.
well,
Small key used, small key gained.
Oh, I just noticed Titos does not have a boomerang.
I could have sworn we had boomerangs along the way, but I don't remember where they were. But already past the room where boomerang would have been useful, so it doesn't really matter. Nice vanilla small key there.
On the 14, 15, 16, 17. You're in a rando room. It's probably here. 15. 15. Hey, you're right.
And always 15 proves superior once again. I've won a few 15s actually lately. Also, Neustria. GG's.
Yep. Look for your cookies in the mail. It's not coming. Look. Yep. Just keep your eyes posted.
I'm expecting cottage cheese now. Guess he could save a little time if he opts to not go for right side. He's going to enter GT 122 and change, which is about 5 minutes behind what Titos was at. At this point, it's Tito's race to lose, I would say. Zazek's hecking him up a little bit. Jesse going for right side first in the Hope Room. Might take this key. Yeah, he's gonna take the key all the way. One landmo down. Two. Third one got away. But it came back. Only to die. You would think these bosses would learn eventually that they're always going to die and, you know, maybe they won't spawn once.
No.
I guess the game wouldn't really be beatable then, but... Do all games need to be beaten? Like, is that a thing? It kind of is. Kinda, yeah. Otherwise, none of us would be here. And isn't that the whole point, chat? So we can all agree. We can all have fun and laugh at what a silly game we all play. Good times, good times. And cottage cheese. Gotta remember the cheese.
Yeah.
Exactly, Adelar. He gets it. Tito's picking up that fairy refill with a powder. Gets our full magic refill. We'll say hello to Trolldorm 2. And going into Ganon 2. See how the geometry stacks up today. Gets one in. Missed there. Silly little blue balls. It's a nice double. Alright, Jesse gets his big key as Aga 2 goes down on Tito's side. All that remains is one pig fight.
In any major hiccup here, it looks like it's going to be Tito's race to win.
What are we going to hear from the pig today? Bacon facts? No. Duck, sheep, and a rooster. Gold Sword gonna make this fight super easy, just 6 slashes. Titos with the cape strats.
That's for safety. You don't want to fall here. Die to Ganon. Already into phase 3. Nice double there.
Nice double.
Start.
And a final silver arrow to the face. Ganon goes down. Titos, will you survive the treacherous bridge of heartbreak? Most likely. Get your GGs in the chat for Titos, everybody. With an official race10.gg time, 1 hour, 27 minutes, 42 seconds. Titos is your winner of this race.
Oh, GG.
And I'm not sure if Titos is going to be hitting up SpeedGaming Deutsch first, or us, or what. We'll find out shortly. Jesse taking an unfortunate fall in Muldrum too. Alright, Jesse starting his Aga2 fight. Nice triple there.
Very nice clean Aga 2 fight there for Jesse.
We'll take a look at Jesse's Ganon fight here. Nice dash strats there.
Oh, triple arrow there. Double arrow.
Double, yeah. It's like, I think it was a triple. 4 silver arrows though, regardless. Jesse finishes off Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for RadicalSniper99. With his official racing.gg time of 1 hour 31:59. Only 4 minutes or so and change. Very, very good race between these two runners.
Looks like we're going to be joined by both runners here in just a moment.
And we are now joined by our two racers, Jesse and Titos. GG's to you both.
Jeez.
GG.
Pretty fast race, I'd say. Everything kind of coming in on path for both of you guys. Your initial thoughts, either of you?
Yeah, I think almost everything was on the overworld. So when I had my go mode, every dungeon was open for me to clear it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I said it in the race room. I said it before we jumped up here. You know, I once again feel like I'm over clearing a bit. So,
Yeah,
a little too reserved.
Felt like everything was out in the open except for that ether medallion, which just happened to be in ice valves, which you had to do anyway. So it was just everything along the way. You just had to do more overworld checks than dungeon checks. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty free.
Yeah, I mean, when I cleared Skull, I was like, this is a good play. You know, get them off dead, get the 3 items in Skull. Going back into left side swamp, I was like, 2 items. I'll route this into Pyramid Fairy. And then you get into ice and you're like, well, there's a go mode. And you realize I played it a bit too safe at times, and you know, you see it in the time. You know, you look at the CR and the time on this race, and me doing Skull, me doing left side swamp, like little things like that add up.
So what's your purpose, your reason for doing left side swap is like, I'm still missing Kate, I'm still missing Ether.
I just thought they could have been anywhere. There was enough reason to check it. You know, it's I could see skipping it. The thought was back and forth the whole time, to be honest. So
we saw pretty much from the get-go, we saw the Eastern Palace boots hint, and then Titos immediately beelining for Eastern. Jesse, any thoughts on that, delaying it a little bit? You both got them out of logic, obviously, which was, I think anybody would have done that same play.
Just hoping for a bow. The 1/3 chance that it wasn't available, you know, wanted to wait just a little bit, hoping for them.
Even that knowing that Eastern was a pendant?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Figured if I could route it in together and do everything there, wouldn't hurt.
One thing I want to know from Titos, when you got your mitts up on Death Mountain, you saved and quit out of there, even though you saw there was a bow up there. Was that just a misclick or a spur of the moment thing, or what was your plan there?
I totally forgot about. I have everything.
I figured.
Dark Death Mountain, and I realized when I was finishing the village, and I thought, oh damn, I have to play something different now, not going to the mountain. And it worked out that there was the Somaria on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, this was a better play, I think, for me, because otherwise I would also clear Skull Woods, and yeah, maybe I will not win this race then.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because we saw that that bow, that fire rod, and it's like, okay, well, when is Tito's going to go back up the mountain? He knows there's a bow there. It kind of worked out for them finding that Samaria.
Yeah, generally this is a bad play, quitting out there, but in this case, it was okay, I think. Because there was nothing behind the bow except the lamp. Yeah.
Well, having that fire rod in hand, Jesse went over to the bumper cape first, saw the hammer there, could not get it, but Titos did hype cape first, got the cape, then went to bumper ledge. So it was kind of like one person knew it was there and couldn't get it, and the other one had it, the cape, but didn't know it was theirs.
Yeah, this is one of those check orders that I really enjoy with a mid start for Dark Worlds. Especially with the boots and the mirror. I like that Skull Woods play, and then doing a bumper ledge scout into Graveyard in King, and then just fluting back to Village. I was like, these are the lines that I like to draw. Like, that's how I look at it. And when, you know, it's a tough play, you know, that's the game at times where you feel like that move is the right one at the time, and, you know, 50-50 on whether it works out.
Yeah, but then both of you doing the front four and Thieves Sound, waiting to get the hammer to hopefully get the big chest and Thieves Sound, but they even need it. So, you know, it's one of those judgment calls that you have to make.
Yeah. That's you know, part of this game. You know, Titos and I played, this is our second game, we split. And whether or not this is, you know, whether you say it's execution matters or routing or there's a luck factor, all of it matters. And at the end of the day, you're going to win some races because of something or lose races because of something. You can't, you know, I think what matters is sticking to your guns and figuring out the best route you can come up with each time. I don't think I changed my route. Maybe I skip some things, but I probably make the same plays almost every time.
Indeed. Rando gonna rando sometimes. But with that, Titos is unfortunately going to be done with group stage, finishing at 2 and 4. Jesse, you have one more match against Krithel where you could tie him for the last spot, I believe.
Yeah, so Krithel in my match has implication. He wins, he's in. And if I win, Krithel and I both split the group, where we beat everybody once and lost to everybody once. And that would force a playoff, I guess, between the two of us. So I'd have to beat Krithel twice in a row now to get in.
Could be exciting. Have you scheduled that match yet, or?
Yeah, our last game is scheduled for Friday at 2.
Nice.
So, and looking at the cards we had today,
Yeah, very balanced lineup, I think, if I remember correctly. It was like
Yeah, the only mode I actually haven't had all tourney is McBoss. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if I get an MC boss. But yeah, that's I'll take whatever mode I can get. Crystal and I played Ambrosia our first matchup. So I don't know, maybe we get keys. I don't know. Whatever mode we get, I'll enjoy. Like, Crystal and I were the 1 and 2 seeds for the group, and you know, I can't say, you know, it's been smooth sailing. This is the main tourney. You know,
right.
There is no easy out. You know, Matt Cap as the 4 seed, I've raced against him a bunch, and Titos has been a tough competitor, so there's no way to guess, you know, where you're going to get your wins or your losses. Rando is going to rando.
Yep. Yeah, it do be like that. Any Captain, any final questions or any final thoughts from our runners before we wrap things up here? Titos, I'm not sure if you're gonna head on over to SpeedGaming Deitch after this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe.
could be. When I will get asked, I will join there. Yes.
It was a double invite, Titos.
Ah, this was a double invite. Okay.
Yeah, there were invites to both of the channels.
Okay.
I accidentally
Thank you for
joined
the
the Deutsch channel first.
Ah, okay. You can come with me if you like.
I don't speak nearly enough German or
Yeah, but
remember
we
a Jenny German.
Sorry. But we can speak in English. It's no problem. Final words. Yeah, thank you for this tournament. This was my first tournament. Very nice experience for me as a very new runner. And for Jesse, best of luck for your next 2 races. Also for Criddle, I'm neutral in this case. I'm very happy that I at least had 2 wins in this group. Never thought that I will do this before we started the group stage. Yeah, thank you for everything.
Yeah, thanks Captain Inawala and Adalor. And all of SG today. And it was a fun race again, Titos.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Titos, and good luck, Jesse, in your next race. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us. So, Wally, you wanna close this out for us?
Yeah, thanks, Captain, for co-commenting with me, Adler for tracking, GG's to our runners once again. That's going to wrap up the end of the 2 o'clock block today. Just to peek on over to the other Speed Gaming channels, and both those other races just finished. But if you're interested in more Speed Gaming, we have 3 more matches tonight over on Speed Gaming 3 and 4. Will WC versus Zelgadison, and Killer App versus Penny Royal Oil, and Kazan versus Wallkicks. That's a very hot match, I know, for Group A, because there's a potential for a 4-way tie in that group. But that's going to wrap us up here over on Speed Gaming 4. Again, I'm Awala Koala, joined by Captain 1977, and from the desk and on behalf of Adalor, thanks once again, and we will see you all next time. Have a good evening.